A pleasant good morning, Lincoln and Logan County. Welcome to the Cheap Seats on 96.3 FM WLCN, also streaming live online at WLCNonline.com. If you are a regular listener to this show, well, if you're a listener to this show, I don't know if you could ever be called regular, but if you have tuned in before, this is a voice you're not accustomed to hearing in this time slot. My name is Loyd Kirby. I am joined by Mr. Benjamin Yount. Did I say it right?
Nobody ever pronounces it right, Lloyd.
Right.
It's Yount, it's Yount, it's however it is. Just as long as it's spelled correctly on the check, I really don't care how it's pronounced.
You're getting paid for this?
Well, I was under the impression I was.
Okay.
So I'll be gone after the first commercial.
I didn't know you did impressions. So, all right. We are broadcasting today from the library at the Christian Village at 1507 7th Street in Lincoln. You can phone them for your needs for advanced senior health care, 735-4500. And, of course, we have a whole list of sponsors that help us out with the bring you the little enterprise here, Mr. Yount.
Yeah, no, this is an impressive list here. Jake's Furnishings, Jim Grimaldi. He's a criminal defense attorney. I want to say thanks to the folks here at the Christian Village, Eaton Corporation, St. Clara's Manor, of course, Lincoln College, Timbercrest Veterinary Services up in Atlanta, Fricky Calvert Schrader Funeral Homes, Community Action, Schneider Chiropractic Center, Blown Smoke, Joe Ryan, Country Financial, although apparently Joe can't be bothered to come and be on the show that he sponsors, the Liberty Village of Clinton, Rail Splitter Veterinary Wellness Center here in Lincoln, and of course, the Lincoln Hamptonian Hotel, which has given us some delicious coffee and pastries. Don't come by because they're just for Lloyd and I, but we have to thank them.
And
we're not sharing.
We may share with our guests. We may give her one, although she said she had a strawberry Pop-Tart before she got here. So so we do have a guest here. Katlyn Hasprey are you a senior? Are you a senior to be? When does the official...
I'm going to be a senior.
So it's like the first day of classes, that's when you are officially a senior.
Yes.
So Katlyn is a golfer for the Lady Railers golf team at Lincoln Community High School. In addition to speaking with her, we'll talk with Ben's adventure earlier this week as he got to throw out the ceremonial first pitch at a Normal CornBelters baseball game, so he'll give us some...
I own the inside corner.
Inside corner.
Don't crowd the plate. I'm coming inside, even if it is a ceremonial first pitch.
All right, listeners, you have been warned. And tied into that, we will be speaking with Public and Media Relations Manager Mike Raines of the Normal CornBelters. He will call in probably around the 9:30 hour. We've got prizes to give away. Actually, let's start with the prizes now. We've got trivia questions, and I have a master's degree in communication, but this will probably set the record for the most poorly worded trivia question in the history of radio.
Because I'm terrible at trivia. I always have been. So let's see if I know. Katlyn, if you know, we unfortunately can't win the prize. What is the prize that we're
well, we'll start out with a pair of vouchers for a Normal CornBelters home game. You'll get 2 vouchers. Turn them in at the game, you get 2 free tickets. And again, I apologize for the wording in advance. Going with a baseball theme today. On Monday night, San Francisco Giants pitcher Tim Lincecum achieved something very rare. The accomplishment that he achieved Monday night, coupled with something else he did earlier in the season, made him only one of 5 pitchers in the last 40-ish years to do these 2 things in the same season. So our question is, what 2 things did he do this year that are so rare? And they are accomplishments on the baseball field. Sometimes Tim Lincecum's off-field.
The haircuts and the San Francisco Giants. I saw him get hit by a pitch from an umpire, but I doubt that's the answer.
That's not the answer we're looking for.
to the trivia question. What's the number to call if anybody knows? Or you can come by and tell us in person?
You could stop by our luxurious remote site, or you can give us a call. 737-3791 is the phone number. And we have joined the 21st or 20th and a half century. We are now on Twitter with the WLCN Sports. So if you are on Twitter, you can send a response, send in your answer at WLCN Sports, and we'll be checking those throughout the program. But first, we do have a guest in studio. Katlyn Hasprey, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, and thank you for not eating the pastries. That's more for Ben and I. So we appreciate that you had a Pop-Tart on the way in.
Strawberry, though. I'm a blueberry guy.
No, we have a blueberry farm at our house, but I No, strawberry.
Strawberry?
All the way.
Right. See, I would have gone brown sugar cinnamon, or I would have gone old school Concord grape, not the new ones. It's got to be the older flavor. I don't know if they added preservatives now or something.
Well, I think it's all preservatives.
Yeah.
I don't.
That's a
the
good
only
point.
thing natural about the Pop-Tarts is the cardboard box that they come in.
That's a very good point. So, Katlyn, as we mentioned, is a golfer for the Lady Railers golf team at Lincoln Community High School. But in the summertime, since you aren't golfing for the high school, you've been busy, it sounds like. You qualified for the Illinois Women's Golf Association Amateur Championship held in June at Crestwick Country Club in Bloomington. First question, how does one go about getting into that?
Well, it's a huge tournament, and they have women and juniors, since it's a women junior am, from all over the central Illinois area. They can sign up online, and if their handicap is within the range that they take, they can accept, I think, as many as 80 players in it, but they only had like 68, you said. So if your handicap is within that area, you can sign up online, and they will flight you based on that, and then it's whatever you choose to do during the tournament, and that's basically how
you
it's
get
done.
in.
Yeah.
Okay. And like you said, 68 participants. The opening round on Tuesday, June 10th, you shot an 82, I believe, which tied you for 19th. So being in the top 32 finish qualified you for the championship flight on Wednesday, June 11th. So for the qualification on that, was that strictly based on your scoring as far as number of strokes? It
Yep.
wasn't a match play format.
No.
So.
The first day, they just do stroke play just to flight you, because I think there was 4 different flights. So everything you do the first day is just based on strokes. You're not competing against anyone but yourself, really.
Okay. And then the scoring for the championship was actually a match play format. Most of us, myself being an amateur golfer, I'm lucky to get out twice a year. Can you tell us the difference between match play and stroke play?
Stroke play is just your score. You play whatever you get on that hole. That's the score you take. You move on, and then after you're done playing your round, your score that's just your score. But match play is you're paired up against one other person. You both play the hole. Say I take a 4 on the hole and she takes a 5. I win that hole. Okay. So whoever has the most wins out of 18 holes, or if they get so many wins to where the competitor cannot come back and get more wins than I've won. So really it doesn't really matter about how you score. It's about your competitor. So it's basically like you're playing against them, and you're trying to play better on the hole than they are.
Now, do you come out of some of these summer tournaments with a ranking that's going to impact how you sit during the high school season? Is there a national amateur ranking? All of this, I imagine your parents want you to get a scholarship and pay for college with the golf. How does the high school tournament mesh with these summer tournaments? And is it better to do better in the summer when more people are sort of keeping an eye on just the pure golf than wins and losses in the Central State 8 Conference?
It depends. During the summer, there's a ton of different tournaments you can play in. I'm not I know there is a national ranking for Illinois in general for all female junior golfers, but I would have no idea where I stand there. I know more. I know the regular season for me is where I know where I stand in the rankings, and based on how I do in state and sectionals and all of that.
So the match play, then, getting back to that, is basically one-on-one.
Yeah.
You're going against the other
Yep.
person. Does that change your approach at all, or your strategy?
Yes. On a regular, if let's say my competitor isn't doing so well on the hole, or she's struggling and it looks like she's going to throw up a higher number than I am on the hole, I'm going to play safer. I'm going to play for par and not take a risky shot to get birdie, because I don't need to. I just need to win the hole. I don't need to try to make miracle shots. But if let's say she's putting, she makes a great second shot into the hole, and she has a 4-foot putt for birdie, then I'm gonna take the risky shot over the tree and over the bunker and over the water to get as close as I can, because if she gets a birdie and I don't, then I've lost. So that's how you have to think about it.
Probably more daring on individual holes, but a bit more conservative in the game overall.
Yes. Yep. That's exactly what it is.
Not afraid sometimes to take the risk because you know that the worst thing that happens is you can putt it out against this other person.
Yeah, because if you do mess up or if you do make a mistake and they have played a great hole and they've obviously already won the hole, it's a little bit less stress on you because you can just pick up and say, I've lost this hole, so let's move to the next one and try again.
Yeah, overall, when you're counting strokes, it gets into your head. I don't want to do, I did 4 last time, I can't do 5, and you just build that up. One-on-one, lost it. Move on to the next one.
Yep.
It's that I caddied as a young man, and that was the toughest part about trying to keep my head in the game is just that and the fact that the dentists that I carried for were morons. But it does add an element to golf that I don't think is usually there on a Saturday or Sunday for most people who go out and play.
I love playing match play really because it's when you're playing a regular day, it's just stroke play. It's all you. You can sabotage yourself as much as you want, but when you're playing against someone else, you can control what they choose to do, and it's not just your game anymore and their game, it's how you play against them.
Okay, very interesting. Now, I was looking at it mathematically. It would be possible, in theory anyway, to lose in stroke play, but you would win the match in match play.
Yep.
Has that ever happened to you, or is it pretty rare?
I think I've come close a couple times. Usually the scores, based on who I matched up with, were usually really, really close to each other. And it really all depends. But yeah, it is possible. Yeah, it's happened before.
Wow, that's kind of wild. So on Wednesday then of that tournament, you were matched up against Lauren Boudreau of Lamont, Illinois, playing in match play format. You finished the front 9. You were 4 down. Then on the back 9, you definitely turned it around. Won 4 straight holes. You were 1 down going into the last hole. Couldn't quite pull it off. What kind of adjustments did you make between rounds, or between the back 9 and front 9?
I think the front 9, I was a little bit flustered. I got to the tee box late, and I automatically lost the first hole because I didn't hear them call my name. So, the first 4 holes, I was really upset, and I was trying to get back into my groove, but I wasn't striking the ball very well on the front 9. And then once I was down so many, I was like, there's nothing left to lose. I have to play aggressive, and I have to make the shots that I know how to make, and I played a completely different game on the back than I did on the front.
So based on your finish, though, you qualified for the championship flight, so we can say you are one of the top 32 in Illinois, top 32 female golfers.
Yeah.
So that is certainly an accomplishment. 82nd Illinois Women's Amateur Golf Championship is in June of 2015 in Springfield. Will we see you there for that?
I hope so, depending on my schedule and what other tournaments I decide to play in. But yeah, I'd love to play in any tournaments that are junior AMs or women's AMs. So they're really good confidence builders, and it's a really good experience.
Sure.
Yeah.
And speaking of tournaments, you said you have one coming up in the not too distant future.
Yeah, on Tuesday and Wednesday, I'm playing down at U of I in Champaign for the Illinois Junior AM. It's a junior AM. I don't know.
The Illinois Junior, we're going to go out and play golf. And I've been to those tournaments.
There's so many different ways you can arrange the title.
Have you played that course over in Champaign? I hear it's actually quite nice.
Yeah, I have. I've played it multiple times during the regular season, and I did play in the same tournament last year during summer.
When it's golf in the Central State 8, right? They don't shift it up. Does every team, I imagine Chatham, Sacred Heart Griffin, the Springfield teams, I don't think Lanphier or Southeast would have it. Who has teams? How is the women's golf in conference when you play this fall?
Well, Rochester, SHG, and a couple other bigger schools around Central Illinois are our biggest competition. It's in my like freshman and sophomore year, the competition seemed to be a lot stiffer. I felt so small, compared to these girls who were shooting really well.
Worse. The competition, you've raised the level of competition.
But I think our team and me as an individual this year stand a really good chance against some of these bigger teams because we've grown and I've grown into a better player. So it seems like I'm even with a lot of the people on certain of the on some of the bigger teams, but
one of the difficulties I think Lincoln schools sometimes have competing against certainly a Sacred Heart Griffin, which is just an athletic factory, is a number of athletes. It's tough. 5-on-5 on the basketball court, we can compete with anybody in the state. When you try and put 40 young men on a football field, we just don't have 40 men. On a golf team, because I know there's an individual and team scoring, how do we stack up, given the fact that Lincoln is a smaller school, there just aren't as many athletes? Can we compensate for not overwhelming numbers? Do you have to have a huge team in order to succeed?
Well, they definitely have a bigger pool of people to choose from and that come in and have been playing for longer. I think Lincoln, we could be the best if, we just keep practicing. We don't need a ton of people. You only take 4 scores in a regular season match out of a team of, if let's say Sacred Heart Griffin has 20 kids and we have like 9, you only take the top 4 scores. So as long as we have top scores and as long as we have people who are willing to put in the hours and the practice, then we stand a really good chance against some of the bigger teams.
Do you have to, and I'll make this my last question here for you because I got to get a cup of coffee, or we got to get to a commercial break, or we got to do something. I know I've been talking for too long. Is it too expensive of a sport to get in? I know that my wife and I would never let our kids do hockey because I'm not going to drop $1,000 to have them break their ankle on the ice and never play again. People have this impression that golf is a very expensive sport, that you have to be a member of a club in order to get access to play. Is it expensive? Is money keeping too many people out?
I would say that it is an expensive sport if you look at it from a farther standpoint, but I mean any sport that you play is going to cost money. This one, if you really enjoy it, if you really like it, then I would say it's worth spending the money and spending the time to put into it. But yeah, I think that some people are a little more hesitant to try it because clubs are $1,000 for one set of clubs, and then you have balls. If you lose balls like I do all the time, I pay a ton of money to get a new box of golf balls. But I would say more in Lincoln because we are a smaller town and because we're not as big and we don't have as much revenue as like other bigger cities that have 30 or 40,000 people in them. There's going to be more of a financial problem.
Parents have to pay more because the school can't afford to pay more.
Yeah.
But $1,000 clubs last you all through high school?
Yeah. And some of the girls that I know, they don't need those expensive clubs. They have a solid set that they got for less money that still works for them, because it's not really about the clubs, it's how you use
Probably
them.
Not nearly as many torn up knees or broken bones.
Yeah.
Any parent who's had to take their child in for a knee procedure.
I mean,
golf,
I have fallen down a hill before, but
that's why you get the cart. See, I'm really good at driving the cart. That's my golf skill.
Your specialty. Awesome. So, speaking of the high school team, how are things? Do you have any predictions, or how are things looking for the team this year?
Well, this year we have 2 incoming freshmen, and then we have everyone who we had last year is returning, and it's really exciting right now because we have the incoming freshmen are really excited. They're picking it up very fast. And last year we missed going to state as a team by I think 4 strokes.
Oh, okay.
And some of our competition have lost seniors, whereas we have lost none. I'm very excited for this year, and I think that we could take our team to state, and I think that we could break school records and come in top finishes because we do have a solid team now. We have girls who are really genuinely excited to play and who want to play.
Very good, very good. So I was looking online, I saw you tied for 48th individually in the IHSA tournament your sophomore year, tied for 22nd individually last year. Where are we going to see you this year?
This year, I'm going to be in the top 10.
Top 10.
Last season, my first day, I was tied for 13th after the first day, and I was really confident. And the second day, I kind of went back out there and thought to myself, these girls are better than me. I don't know why I'm trying to compete with them. I don't deserve to be up in the top 10. But this year, I've completely thrown away that mindset, and I'm just so excited because I know this year that it's my last year. I have to play the best I've ever played, and I think I can do that. So I'm really excited for
most of the top golfers suburban area, I would imagine.
Yes.
I grew up in Naperville. That's where I caddied.
Well, a lot of people, they grow up on golf courses. Yeah. They have the money that they're there from the time they're 3 until they go off to college.
Katlyn, as long as you beat everybody at Sacred Heart Griffin, you will be a winner in my book because God, they can't lose enough.
So we are nothing but a crack staff of researchers here. I was looking online. So did I read that you began playing golf your freshman year?
Yeah, the summer before my freshman year I started playing, so it's been about 3 years now.
3 years, and you're accomplishing wonderful things. Future goal of pediatric surgery?
Yes, that's what I'm aiming for. Anything actually in the surgical field, but pediatrics was what came to my mind first.
Very lofty goals indeed. So, well, we appreciate you stopping by with us and speaking with us. Best of luck to you this season and to the Lady Railer golf team. And again, we appreciate you having the strawberry Pop-Tart beforehand. That means more pastries for us. So,
well, thank you very much for having me. I always enjoy coming up here and talking. But
we are certainly glad to have you here. You certainly improved the look of the set.
That's true.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is certainly true. Class the joint up, Katlyn. Thanks so much. Have fun this evening. Name drop your coach before you leave, so that you
Christine
can
Randall.
There you go, Coach Randall. You got mentioned on the radio.
Very good. So we're still looking for answer to our trivia question. San Francisco baseball pitcher Tim Lincecum achieved something very rare. On Monday night, he did the second part of this particular act. So what he did Monday night, coupled with something he did earlier in the year, those two things have only been achieved 5 times in a baseball season in the last 40 or so years.
All right, 2-step process. How early in the season did he do this? Let me try and work this through.
It was, I believe it was May.
On the field or on the mound?
On the mound.
Okay, all right.
Actually, both feet were on the mound.
All right, we're narrowing
and he is a pitcher.
All right, that should be that plus Google should get us an answer here.
Right.
And vouchers for 2 tickets to the Corn Crib, and I think it's pretty much any game you want to go to. You just go on up, give them there, and we'll call, and they'll give you some seats. Box seats on those, or just general admission seats? As I ask off air. Box seats. Those are good seats. It's a lot of fun, and food's pretty cheap. You go up on Thursday, it's $1 beer night.
Oh, well,
Pro tip
go.
there.
So if you have an answer for us, 737-3791 is the number to call. We're also on Twitter at WLCN Sports. Once again, Katlyn, thanks for stopping by, and we will go to our first break, and we will be back on the other side. You're on the cheap seats at WLCN 96.3 and streaming on live, WLCNonline.com.
Second baseman Dave Cash, shortstop Larry Boa, third baseman Mike Schmidt, left fielder Greg Luzinski, center fielder Gary Maddox. Phillies fever. Phillies fever. Phillies fever.
Was that the Von Hayes team?
That's actually before Von Hayes. That's about the 70s. And I appreciate Jim's music choice, although he probably alienated about 99% of our listeners with the old Phillies Fever song. Larry Boa, Greg Luzinski, Mike Schmidt, Steve Carlton, all those guys back from their glory days in the 70s. So speaking of the baseball theme, we are still looking for our trivia answer. 737-3791 is the number to call. Pitcher Tim Lincecum achieved something very rare. He did the second part of this 2-part feat on Monday evening. That, coupled with something else he did earlier in the year, puts him in very rare company. He's only one of 5 pitchers to do this in the past roughly 40 years, and we're looking for the answer of what 2 things did he do this year. Once again, 737-3791 is the phone number. We are also on Twitter at WLCN Sports. We've picked up a few followers here this morning, so we certainly appreciate that. And while we are on the baseball theme, my guest co-host, Mr. Benjamin Yount.
Close enough. Lloyd.
Close enough?
Close enough. Just
did
call
something.
me Ben.
Just call you Ben. Did something this morning. Or not this morning, but earlier this week at a Normal CornBelters
Thursday
game. Yeah, I believe it
night.
was Thursday.
Oh, wow.
And we would just, in honor of you, I've tweeted out a few of these this morning. They're on YouTube, some of the worst first pitches at baseball games. This one's by the Go-Go's.
Yeah, I love the Go-Go's. The classic, man, those girls aged rough.
They did age rough, and so we tweeted out a few videos of that this morning. And
see, he's going from the rubber and the full stretch.
Just a bit over the top there, which means
a bit
nothing to our viewers right now, but we will tweet this link out. It's the top 10 worst first pitches at Major League games. And I believe we do have a caller on the trivia question.
terrible.
So, caller, we're looking for the answer. Tim Lincecum achieved something very rare with two things he did this year. Can you tell us what those two things are that he did in this baseball season?
Threw second no-hitter for the second time and struck out more than 15 twice.
He may have done that, but that's not what we're looking for.
Yeah, you're very close. You're very close.
You got. Well, we won't tell you which one, but you got one of the two steps.
And some other people who did accomplish this.
So find out and try it and call back again.
Yeah. Call us back, 737-3791. Tim Lincecum did this. He accomplished part 2 of this feat on Monday. Matt Garza did it in 2010 with the Tampa Bay Rays. Chris Bosio did it in 93 with the Seattle Mariners. Jerry Royce, now we're really going back, to 1980 with the Los Angeles Dodgers. And the Candyman, John Candelaria, did it in 1976 with the Pittsburgh Pirates.
They were still wearing the striped hats.
Yeah, they had the Willie Stargell, the ones that came out in 1976 in honor of
Stargell Stars.
Yep,
one of the better uniforms. I got stuck watching when I was in Madison. I was watching the All-Star game, and after that became boring. They put on Major League Baseball Network, and they had a countdown of the top uniforms, and the Padres, the fruit salad Astros, those 70s Pirates, and the Phillies, when the Phillies wore that red on red garb, when Charlie Hustle was playing for the Phils. But
back in the 80s,
so no, if you figure it out, it two things from the mound Lincecum did this year. You're going to get one. If you just think about it, you're going to get one, but you may have to look to get the other one. So give us a call. What's that number again, Lloyd?
737-3791. Let me throw out another little tidbit here. The game that he did it in on Monday night was a 14-inning game in which he did not start.
Oh man, you just gave it to him.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
You're playing for a pair of vouchers to go see the CornBelters play, and that's pretty much any game that you pick. CornBelters are at home, I think, a good chunk of next week. It's a fun time. We're hopefully gonna speak with Mike Raines. He's community public relations manager for the CornBelters. He's going to call in the show hopefully here later on this morning. I was just up Thursday night.
Yes, you were.
Cities 92.9. I know you're not supposed to plug the other radio station that you work on the radio station that you're on currently, but
we won't tell anyone. It'll be our little secret.
Nobody's listening. It's just between you and me. They had a big thing for us up at the park, and we went to one of the suites, and it was nice, air conditioned inside, a couple of seats outside. We had some friends of the station, listeners, everybody came by, and I got drafted to do the first pitch. I didn't want to do it because as you tweeted out here from SportsCenter, the downside is so if you get it great, if you throw a perfect strike, it looks good, but if you mess it up, you live in infamy. We've got another caller. Caller, thanks so much for calling into the cheap seats. All right, what Lincecum do? 2-step process. Are you there?
Are you with us, caller?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, what
he
did he
did
do?
2 things. What did he do?
2 no-hitters and 2 games that he didn't start.
And one what?
He took 2 games that he didn't start, starting pitcher.
You guys are getting the no-hitter. We'll give you that.
You do have the no-hitter, correct?
One more. Just you go to Elias and type it in, and you can find it. Try again. Thanks for calling.
Very close.
Call back again. The number 737-3791
or on Twitter at WLCN Sports.
3791. Pair of vouchers. Go see the CornBelters.
Absolutely.
And it's a beautiful facility. If you've never been up there, if it's been a while since you've been to minor league baseball. This is not the old Pete Vanaken that we're talking about in Peoria. This isn't Lanphier Ballpark down in Springfield where the Sliders play.
Correct.
The Corn Crib. It's actually very nice, built just a couple of years ago. Heartland Community College picked up a bunch of the debt for it. But yeah, very, very nice place. Thursday was dollar beer night. I only got to have one beer before I went on. And it's got the field turf. I had a whole plan. I was going to slide. I was going to wear coach's shorts. I was going to get a headband, shave my beard into a goatee. It never worked out. But we get there. And I'm throwing out the first pitch with the guy who's playing in the band after the game. One of the things they do is they have, I think it's called Greeter's Patio. Mm-hmm. And it's out there sort of right field, almost where the bullpen would be at Wrigley.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And although this field, by the way, much nicer than Wrigley, just to throw that out there if you're a Cubs fan. I'm sorry.
Concur.
You play in worse than a minor league stadium. So we go, it's the guitarist, me, and then all of a sudden, like the Hayworth Baseball All-Stars assistant coach, this 19-year-old kid. I'm like, you kidding me here? The guy from the band's wearing cowboy boots. I'm just sitting out here. I hadn't tossed a baseball since I played catch with my oldest son during his baseball season, and now we got to go up against this semi-pro kid here. And it was a lot of fun. We go out, they introduce you, you wave. Corny, the Cornosaurus. Those are words that were said.
Okay.
He was the catcher. Mm-hmm. And up first is the guy from the band, and he throws, and no one failed. It wasn't one of these bounce on the dirt and roll in. But I knowing that I wasn't going to look bad, I was thrown from the blue tees. I didn't get all the way back up on the mound and go into a windup and throw it out. I caught during my illustrious Little League career. Right. So I would have been better behind the plate than on the mound. So I go up a little bit and throw, and it was inside, but it was a strike, and I was quite happy with that. And then this kid from the high school team, pure windup, snap, you hear the crack of the glove. It was a very good time, and the Corn Crib's more of a family thing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You can go and you can watch baseball. Mm-hmm. And these guys they're semi-pro. They're not. Some of them are college. Some of them are on the upswing of their career. Some of them are on the downswing of their career. The baseball's pretty good. I mean, it's entertaining.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But they got a bounce house for the kids and face painting. I know my brother brought his kids who were younger, and yeah, they were just eating popcorn and getting their face painted and bouncing around. But the food's pretty good. It's cheap enough. It's I'd say it's a $50 night for a family of 4. Something like that. So it's not that bad if you get the free tickets that we have here. You figure out the answer to our trivia, it'll be even less. You can come by, you and a friend, you and a date, you and just the seat next to you to hold all of the empty popcorn tins.
Exactly.
The question that we're asking, Tim Lincecum did this. It's a 2-step process.
Correct.
I think we've pretty much established that he threw a no-hitter.
Yes, he did.
He did something else this year, and we're done giving you the hints. That no one else has done in how long?
Only 5 players. He made him the 5th player to do it in roughly the past 40 years.
So this is it's something that would surprise you, but when you find it out, you go, of course that's what it is.
Makes sense. So
of course. So give us a call,
737-3791 is the number, at WLCN Sports if you're on Twitter. And so you said you got to keep the baseball.
Yeah, they let you keep the baseball, and it was neat. It's a black and yellow CornBelters ball. I wanted a hat, but I tried to trade the hat for the ball, and no, they just let me keep the ball. But it was. It's a fun time. They actually do have some nice swag up there. The wife bought a shirt. Very rarely are you going to get a corn-themed shirt or hat, and it looks really black and yellow and green. If you were a normal U-High parent, these would be great colors for you. They do have some green, so I guess Lincoln parents can get by with them.
The corn theme would be very rare, although one of the Phillies teams, one of their farm teams, the Iron Pigs, does have a bacon-themed uniform this year. So,
and is it the team in Harrisburg? They're not a Phillies affiliate, but they're the Senators, and they did something. Yeah, the minor league teams have figured it out.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because we went to a lot of ball games in 2011. I was traveling a lot for work, so we tagged along and got to do that. And major league games, you go and you watch the baseball.
Right.
And even then, with younger kids, my youngest at that time was 6th grade. He'd make it through about the 7th inning, and he wanted to get up and go and walk. And more places are selling it as an experience.
Exactly.
This is why I love Busch Stadium. The Bank of America Club is absolutely fantastic, and the rooftops across the street as part of Ballpark Village, food, drinks. My wife doesn't drink, but we'll buy the all-inclusive ticket for her and the kids because soda, pop water, cookies, popcorn. I mean, they bring out popcorn and peanuts after the 7th inning.
Right.
That's you've been to the ballpark. That's 10, 15. Family of 4, $250, $300
easily,
and that's with $9 seats where you don't get to see the game, or you're stuck out getting broiled. We were in Kaufman in Kansas City. And the first half of the game, we were in the sun, and it was brutal. And then the second half, the sun goes down. You're looking at the interstate, and you were looking at Kansas City Royal baseball. But good time. The CornBelters Stadium, very nice. Still looking for a winner on those tickets. We'll see if somebody can call in during the break. More from the cheap seats.
Welcome back to the Cheap Seats. This is Loyd Kirby with Mr. Benjamin Yount.
Getting there.
I'm getting closer.
Well, we pronounced it 3 different ways, 3 different times.
Well,
We'll find one that we can settle
Law
on.
of averages says I'm ought to get it one of these times. Still looking for a trivia answer. Contest winner, 737-3791, or you can send us a tweet at WLCN Sports. And joining us now on the phone lines is Mike Raines, the Community, Public, and Media Relations Manager for the Normal CornBelters baseball team. Good morning, Mike. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
We are doing okay. Before we get to the questions about the CornBelters, we have to get to the really hard-hitting journalism questions. Ben came up and threw out the first pitch on Thursday night. Do you have a scouting report for us? He says it was a strike. Can you confirm or deny that?
It was good. It was definitely far better than 50 Cent did.
Yeah, that was all I was going for. As long as I didn't fail. So, but Mike, thanks so much. It was a great time up at the ballpark, and it's a lot of fun. Got to keep the ball. I think I've got it on the shelf at World Broadcast headquarters, so I'll proudly display that.
And you don't mean right here, do you? When
no.
you say
World Broadcast, the former beauty salon behind the IGA.
Oh, okay.
Here in beautiful Lincoln, Illinois. That's
okay,
World Broadcast
very good.
headquarters.
Well, Mike, once again, thank you for joining us. Mike Raines is the Community, Public, and Media Relations Manager for the Normal CornBelters. Can you tell us a little bit about the CornBelters?
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, we're a professional baseball team located right up here in Normal, Illinois. It's a great experience. It's a good time to come out and watch some good quality baseball.
Absolutely, and this is the 5th year of existence for the CornBelters. Any big 5-year anniversary activities planned, or is there sort of ongoing celebration throughout the season?
Nothing special. We're kind of going to blow our fan appreciation night out of the water this year and kind of capitalize on our 5th anniversary. So August 28th, our final home game of the season, our fan appreciation night, we're going to have a lot of different giveaways and things to really capitalize that this was our 5th year and try to thank people for coming out and supporting us for that many years.
Mike, I was there on a Thursday, which is dollar beer night. Good for the dads who are listening. But families, little kids, they got the bouncy house. What are the next couple of giveaways? We've still got a pair of tickets. Somebody can call in, answer our Tim Lincecum trivia question, win some box seats. But Mike, what's on the promotions agenda for the next week or so?
Yeah, we always have a ton of interesting things going on. We've got our regular weekly promotions, which every week, like you said, Thursday night, we've got, dollar beers, $2 margaritas, and post-game concerts. Every Sunday, we have fireworks night. Every Tuesday is Kids are on the Bases. Sundays are family days for dollar hot dogs, things like that. So we've got a lot of regular weekly promotions as well as individual games. Tonight is our Boy Scout camp-out night. So Boy Scouts and troops come up, and we've probably got about over 500 kids coming that are going to camp out on the field tonight. So that'll be a lot of fun and something different, for the kids to come out and do.
It's that field turf on the field. There's no grass, there's no dirt. It's all field turf. They're not going to be able to spike their tents into that, are they?
They cannot, no. No
Okay.
spikes. They can still put their tents down and everything.
But no,
so.
it's a really neat field. There was the thing when I went out there. I could have, if I would have known there was no dirt, Mike, I would have just worn my flip flops like I always do. I put on real people shoes because I thought I'd get dirt on my feet. But no, it's a nice field, and it's both on the playing surface and the stadium is a really nice. It's a nice facility.
Yeah, it's a great area to watch baseball. You know, there's not a bad seat anywhere. If you get tired of sitting, you can walk around. There's plenty of room to, go explore other areas of the corn crib and check out what's there. And a lot of kids just enjoy hanging out in the kids zone that we have down the left field line with the different bouncy houses and the speed of pitch and different things that we have going on down there too. So there's definitely something for every member of your family at our stadium.
And many minor league teams are affiliated with a major league team, such as the Chiefs are over in Peoria. But the CornBelters are an independent team. Can you tell our listeners what does that mean, and how is that different from an affiliated team?
Yeah, so what it means is we're a member of the Frontier League, which is an independent team, which means we do not have an affiliation. So any one of our players can be picked up by any major league team out there. We have different scouts in our park every night watching different players. We've had 2 guys signed so far this year. Cole Brocker was picked up by the Atlanta Braves. He's a relief pitcher for us. And then just the other day, Keith Elias up by the Phillies. So by us not having a tie, we're able to shop guys to any team essentially and constantly get them picked up and back into the game.
Oh, very cool, very cool. And we talked a little bit about what the corn crib, the multi-purpose facility and all the activities going on there. But it's not just a baseball stadium. You have other events that take place there. Can you tell us about some of the other things that you do there at the facility?
We do, yeah. One of the biggest things that we have is our summer concerts, and the biggest that we have in trying to get back to the community and how we can. We want to thank our fans for coming out and supporting us. We're trying to get some of the biggest names into our stadium and try to get some of the biggest people that we can. And so coming this summer, Friday, September 12th, will be Tim McGraw's Summer Sundown Town Tour. And
cool.
When you talk about country and when you talk about concerts, you can't get much bigger than Tim McGraw.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm not even a country music fan, but I know he's the son of former Phillies relief pitcher Tug McGraw.
There you go.
So I'm hooked.
Mike, still tickets available for that show? If anybody wants to jump in, where can they go and get the tickets?
We do, yes. There's plenty of tickets available. You can go to our website, normalbaseball.com, or you can call the box office Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 at 309-454-BALL.
So you said the last home game, fan appreciation night, at the end of August. So we're not talking about a lot of season left here. We're about a month or so of games. How many of those going to be at home? There is some urgency. If you haven't been to the Corn Crib this year, you only got just a couple of weeks left. Mike, how many home games, and are we going to play anybody worth seeing? Anybody with an interesting mascot? Nobody can beat the Cornosaurus, but who we got coming to town?
That's true. Nobody does Corny. He is one of a kind, that's for sure.
Mike, the last question I got, and I'll turn you over to Lloyd. The corn in center field, is that field corn, is that sweet corn, is that popcorn, or is it just like prop? You guys need to make that popcorn and pop it for people every year, sort of like a green park self-sustaining energy.
There you go.
Trying to help you out, get you some sort of tax credit.
Yeah, I'm not the greatest on a corn expert, but I believe it's just regular field corn that's out there. The Illinois Corn Farmers sponsor our team. They're our presenting sponsor, and so we get some different, unique corn aspects throughout our ballpark. Everywhere you go, you're going to see corn, and so it's one of the neat things that we have at our park. You can come in and you can get roasted ears of corn while you're watching the game, and you can't always do that at any baseball stadium.
The food is very good. It's very affordable. It's a good family time. NormalBaseball.com. You can call them as well. 309-454-BALL. If you're not good with spelling out on the phone, it's 309-454-2255. Mike Raines with CornBelters. Thanks so much for taking some time joining us here on the Cheap Seats.
Yep. Actually, Mike, I believe there was one more thing you were going to tell us about, that you got a special night coming up on August 19th.
Yes, August 19th, we're hosting a Michael Collins tribute night. A lot of people in the area are familiar with Michael Collins and know the tragic story that he had. And so he played a long time. He played 2 years with the Heartland Hawks, and Heartland uses our stadium for all of their games. And so we're going to have a night to raise some money and give it back to the Michael Collins Foundation and help out a little bit in ways that we can to help his foundation pick up.
Very cool. And for those who aren't familiar, if you just go online and Google that, you will learn all about the story of Michael Collins and the impact he's had, not only in the central Illinois area, the impact his passing had, but also really nationally and internationally. I remember seeing somewhere on Twitter his initials carved into the warning track at the All-Star game, I believe. So it's definitely a far-reaching movement, I guess you could call it. So that is August 19th. August 28th will be the Fan Appreciation Night with the CornBelters. Mr. Raines, thanks very much for joining us, and we'll wish you lots of good weather for the rest of the season, and we'll get back up there to a game again sometime soon.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right. Thank you very much. That was Mike Raines, the Community Public and Media Relations Manager for the Normal CornBelters. And they play up at the Corn Crib in Normal, Illinois, just on the north side there.
If you're going to go up 55, and then you want to take that North Normal exit, kind of like you used to go to ISU.
Right, yeah, the Main Street exit.
Yeah, don't get off at Market, snake over, and then there's a corner, quick and easy. I think there's a Wendy's.
Turn onto Rab Road.
Hop there. A couple of bucks to park, so don't be surprised by that. But we have friends. They've got little kids. My kids are high school and 8th grade, so I trust my children to walk away from my seat without running away or being stolen. But the great part about the Corn Crib is that as you sit, there's no outfield seat. It's all just grass, and a lot of kids end up out in the outfield playing catch, doing all of that, and making sure. So good family time. This was a great time, Lloyd.
Yeah, very nice.
We're getting close.
We are getting close.
Lots of stuff next week. Next week, you can join us at the Chili Cook-Off at the Logan County Fair, the KC Open Pavilion. That's brought to us by our friends over at Grau. They're 1905 North Kickapoo here in Lincoln. Be sure to check out Comcast Channel 5 in Lincoln and Mount Pulaski for film coverage of the Cheap Seats. You unfortunately get to watch what you just heard, but go on over
film? Really?
I did film.
Hopefully we're going to update someday.
Somebody's going to take this back and give it a bath. And as always, we want to say thanks to our friends over at the Lincoln Hampton Inn Hotel on Lincoln's west side for all of our delicious coffee and pastries. Call the Hampton Inn, 732-6729. Lloyd, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ben. And for those of you who were trying to guess the trivia, you're very close. Tim Lincecum this year pitched a perfect game earlier in the season, and then on Monday night he recorded a save coming in the 14th inning against the Phillies. So very rare feat to pitch a perfect game and a save in the same season. That was the answer we were looking for. So if you apologize if you didn't get it, we'll be back next week with more trivia. We've got all kinds of giveaway prizes that are accumulating in our prize vault. So be sure to tune in next week, and I think that's going to wrap it up. So on behalf of Benjamin
Yount.
My name's Loyd Kirby. Thanks for tuning in to the Cheap Seats. Remember, check us out online, WLCNonline.com. Send us a tweet, WLCN Sports, and we will talk to you next week.